set out from Pettysville that dreadful day. They stoked the boilers as she began to glide. Captain Dan spun her around towards Big Lake, then north to Hornersville above the Arkansas line. She was loaded with 100 bales of cotton and 200 barrels of corn to grind. She was the lady of Big Lake, a sight to see, for the settlers a lifeline to the community. Annie Mae's steam whistle could be heard 4 miles away. Now her and Captain Dan lie silent in a watery grave. She took furs and lumber to the St. Louis market. With livestock and grain, she became the pirates' target. She had her battle scars from the river's war. Some called her a steamer, but she was so much more. Annie Mae had tread these waters for over 40 years. She carried settlers into this unknown land of fears. During the war she carried our boys in gray up St. Francis River to meet up with General Marmaduke to whip old Van Dever. She carried cypress boards and lumber supplies north after the Chicago fire of 1874. Annie Mae graced the waters of Big Lake until her demise. In 1901 she sank to be heard from no more. That fog was so thick you couldn't cut it with a knife. Captain Dan finished his coffee and kissed his wife. They left Pettysville, he and his crew were running late. He yelled, stoke those boilers hot, the furs in New Madrid can't wait. The river was high as Annie Mae's paddle began to turn. Smoke bellowed from her stacks as the boilers started to churn. There came a cry from the front of the boat, snag dead ahead. Captain Dan spun the helm, but she took a direct hit instead. The men tried to bail out the water, but the rip was too wide. Captain Dan ordered his men to abandon ship, trying to make the shallows of Hog Island on the other side. Hope was lost when Annie Mae couldn't break the water's grip. 120 years since that mournful day, and with time the stories of legends tend to fade away. But there's some in Big Lake say on a dark foggy eve you can hear a eerie steam whistle blowing on the breeze. She was the lady of Big Lake, a sight to see, for those along the river, life's line to the community. Annie Mae's steam whistle could be heard 4 miles away. Now her and Captain Dan lie silent in a watery grave.